Hello again, dear friends. We are very divided. We are a very conflicted and destructive species. We fight even with our own shadow if necessary. We are easily divided even if we are on the same side. Opinion article. Lack of unity consciousness. This is the cause of polarity in the world. Humanity is experiencing a rise in frequency. The universal law is peace, love, wisdom, freedom, and prosperity. We have entered into a natural cycle to make the desired change. The Great Spirit is the only consciousness that embraces the whole universe. Outward worship is contrary to the teaching of the Masters. The caterpillar doesn't easily emerge from its cocoon to become a butterfly. Let's start. The lack of unity consciousness that exists in the world may lead to a great polarity in the coming days, the byproduct of which is chaos. Polarity is the condition of that which has opposite properties or powers in opposite parts or directions, such as the poles. But there are truly enlightened people who align themselves with the universal law that many refer to as unity consciousness, whose premises are universal peace, brotherly love, the wisdom of knowledge, individual freedom, and prosperity for all. These ideals come from James Gilliland's last message. It's undeniable that humanity and the earth are experiencing an acceleration and increase in frequency. According to science, we are moving through a high energized place in space. All bands within the electromagnetic light spectrum have increased. The Schumann resonance has had an unprecedented peaks, and there is also an exponential increase in cosmic X-rays and gamma rays from distant suns bombarding the Earth. The Sun has been very busy with coronal mass ejections and solar flares, which has also had a social, economic, and physical impact. These incoming energies can create mood swings, lethargy, emotional outbursts, social and economic changes, severe weather, and an increase in volcanic and seismic activity. The Earth is expanding with this energy. There is also the influence of higher consciousness and energy that comes with the presence of higher dimensional beings that add to the consciousness and energy of the planet. We have entered into what is a natural cycle to help humanity make this change. They bring an expansion in consciousness and a great deal of available energy, healing and support for those who choose to awaken and heal by entering into their own divinity. They are not to be worshipped or seen as gods as in the past. The Great Spirit. In truth, the Great Creator Spirit is one consciousness that encompasses all consciousness on all planes and dimensions through the multiverse. The omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, created within all creation. As all the great masters, saints, and wise men have said, the temple is within you. By going inward through conscious prayer, meditation, and other spiritual practices, it expands in consciousness, in awareness, until it becomes one with the one consciousness. The only difference between us and the higher dimensional beings is that they have access to and use more of the unified field, the one consciousness. That has access now on Earth as never before, a golden opportunity to make a quantum leap in consciousness. Outward worship goes against the teaching of all the masters. Many in these powerful roles will have awakenings, will realize their own divinity and the divinity within others. They will break the spell. This is part of the Great Awakening. Many leaders in all parts of life are awakening, remembering past lives in other advanced civilizations that are here now participating in this process. They have realized that if they continue on the same course, it will lead to an enslavement and disappearance of the most of humanity, including themselves. They are self-destructive. The spell of the dream has been broken. The dream of higher civilizations living in harmony with each other and with nature are developing in the hearts and minds of all those they have chosen. Their soul is being activated. They were the incarnation of advanced souls from many star nations. They are activated by the fulfillment of a prophecy. The dark side. We would be remiss if we did not tell a balanced story about the dark side. There were very technologically and mentally advanced beings who were spiritually backward in the past. They were revered as gods because of their advanced technologies and practices of dark magic. They have only one goal: to dominate the world, and they use all the means necessary to achieve their goals. They covet power and wealth and are selfish, arrogant, to the level of narcissism, a lack of empathy and compassion. Love is not in their vocabulary. Their ancient rituals include decadent behavior, to say the least. Those who follow them are promised fame, power, and wealth if they surrender their soul and life to the unseen forces that are summoned during these rituals. This abounds in the higher spheres, but all this will be exposed and false idols will fall. Denouement. The earth is rising. Those who cannot raise their frequency, release the past, heal and align themselves with universal law, cannot sustain themselves and their kingdoms, and there will be a great outcome. What we see now is a great awakening where nothing will be hidden, no matter how much you try to hide the truth. It will be exposed to those who have sold their souls for fame, power, and wealth, but have not achieved happiness because deep down they are not so intelligent. They have lied and created divisions to promote their position of power and wealth. No rock will be left unturned, and all their iniquities will be shouted from the rooftops, as the gospel says. The beast will fall, and all his servants will fall with him. As the prophecies foretold, this is the beginning of 1,000 years peace wherein the earth joins the rest of the universe in a great gathering of star nations and makes a quantum leap in evolution. It's time to stand upright in your own divinity and make universal law the law of the land. Transformation. Mrs. Blossom Godchild says that the time has come for everyone to recognize their inner truth. All that is about to emerge will awaken the spirit and lead you to the brighter experience, so that it is so necessary for humanity to rise from its ashes. After so long of confinement, the soul that resides within human flesh is ready to emerge from its cocoon and fly free. There will be a great turmoil and confusion, but the caterpillar doesn't emerge easily from its cocoon to become a butterfly and fly away. Brief news. Riots in several Spanish cities. Protest against the restrictions led to riots in Madrid, Logroño, Barcelona, Málaga, Bilbao, and Santander. The riots that took place on Saturday night in protest against the restrictions in several cities have resulted in more than 60 people being arrested and about 20 injured. Disappearance of ethics. The Spanish Philosophy Network denounces the elimination of the subject of ethics in fourth year of ESO during the processing of the organic law for the reform of the organic law on education in the Education Commission of the Congress of Deputies. When the North became South, how was the last magnetic reversal on Earth? Earth's magnetic field normally changes every 200 to 300 millennia, but last time it took more than twice that long. Japanese scientists have studied in detail the geological events that took place on our planet before the last reversal of the magnetic poles about 773,000 years ago, and determined that the whole process lasted at least 25,000 years, while at least 10,000 years before it started, the Earth's geomagnetic field became unstable, just like now. That's all for today, and thanks a lot for listening.